We are live. Hello, everyone. This is Ninja DC joining
Hello.
in for another React. This time, not for Digital Circus, but going back to has
Hello,
been. I mean,
boss.
Hello Boss. Yeah, I got those mixed.
Yes.
Yeah, because they actually did drop another episode in April, probably because they did the May one early.
Oh no! Sorry. Sorry.
I mean, they also dropped the news that they finally got the green light from Amazon to say that Has Been Hotel is going to have their full 5 seasons now.
And they released the trailer for the 3rd season of Hell of a Boss.
Oh, and also something else from Level Up Expo is they're apparently planning on building up to a Zoophobia. So that's going to be amazing.
Zoophobia and Homestruck at the same time. Well, not Homestuck, not Homestruck. Oh my god, my friends correct me over this all the time. Mush, if you're watching this, I get it. Homestuck, okay? Homestuck.
But yeah, I knew Zoophobia was coming out long at some point because it is her Vizzy Pop's baby, and to be put bluntly, like the Hell of a Verse has been extremely successful to say the least. So creators like that eventually, if they have the capital and like pool, will go back to her baby, and she definitely has that at this point. Like hell,
Right.
just the merch sales alone.
Yeah, exactly. She has plenty of money to revive Zoophobia.
Yeah, she has enough. She has enough to like even risk some money on this, and hopefully, since like Zootopia has blown up, and hopefully she doesn't have any issues about that name brand anymore. Hopefully, it's not going to be stopped because of that. Because that was the main.
Yeah, exactly.
Issue.
Also, I'm confused about how she's going to do Zoophobia, though, considering that a lot of the concept art was like characters that ended up being in Hello a Boss or Has Been Hotel were originally in Zoophobia, particularly Alistair's entire character is in Zoophobia, so they would have to remove a multitude of characters that were translated to Has Been, especially.
It's fine. It's not like everything was going to be about demons basically being the antagonists.
It's also not like Vivzy Pop has ever minded playing fast and loose.
Yeah, also I feel that's the one big thing is like I feel Zoophobia is going to get a big workover its plot, because that's just started out as like basically a web series when she was just a small independent artist. To get put bluntly, she's gotten a lot of experience. I think we can all agree like the second seasons for like the Hell of a Verse, both Hell of a shows have sort of the writing has consistently gotten better.
Yeah, true.
So I feel like with that experience, she'll rework the Zoophobia things a lot into a new story. Maybe connected, maybe not. But I feel it'll be a lot more refined and a lot less of the web series format, which is basically very slow and meddling. That's sort of the big problem with most web series when they're doing like one page a week. It's very easy for any of them to like sort of their plots to sort of become meddling and just sort of stuck in nothing really happening for like 2 or 3 years.
Okay, like look, here's the main thing I really want to get from Zoophobia. That we honestly get the flipping werewolves. I'm sorry, but that is the thing I wanted. But we stopped it right before we got into the introduction of the werewolves and JJ. Listen, this is the main draw for Vizzy Pop back in the 2010s. JJ, her music video of Die Young.
Exactly. I love that music video.
Well, I think we're definitely going to get JJ because like she's in like the art that was announced in the Zoophobia thing. I think, Carl. So I definitely feel that character's at least going to be. The one thing I'm hoping and expecting with that thing is I feel they'll probably condense down the characters a lot more. Will be mostly the core characters, because like Zoophobia is a series of basically a web series that it became like an entire like epic about all these spin-off characters. Like we got series from those spin-off characters.
Yeah, exactly. Like Alistair, who was like fully a Zoophobia character before getting translated.
I mean, now, like after like what I recalled from reading from the chapters back in the day, like I'm wondering if we're even gonna have the human POV, or we're just gonna focus on like the whole sphere basically of of like the land, in which it's just going to be a hodgepodge of many different animals and then different mythological creatures and whatnot.
I feel since they actually kept the name Zoophobia, they're definitely going to keep the main character, like the
main character of like the human.
Yeah,
Cameron, the therapist. Yeah,
but I feel they'll like quickly rush her into a role like a lot sooner. Because I remember reading Zoophobia a lot after I think we started watching Hello. So I sort of read through it because it, like many web series, it just sort of ends. But from what I remember, like it really wasn't until like the series like was almost in the indefinite hiatus point that she started to get into her actual therapist role, which she was actually pretty good at. So
like, I know.
So I feel they'll rush that like they'll rush that like a lot quicker and sort of get more into the flow instead of like again like going back from a web series down, they can condense the plot a lot and sort of like condense down plot lines.
Yeah,
especially since the Zoophobia thing is supposed to be a mini series, not like at least that first ongoing series. So
yeah, like I think it's gonna be similar to Homestuck, because oh my god, again I gotta say it, Mush, if you're watching this, I'm sorry, it's Homestuck, but that was also a webcomic that was translated to a show by Viv, so I feel like she's just gonna do the same thing that she did there. She did the same thing with Homestuck, like the same way that she translated Homestuck. I think she's going to translate Zoophobia.
I mean, Homestuck hasn't been translated; it's still in progress, isn't it?
Yeah, it's still.
It's still in progress. I just think that when Zoophobia is done, they're probably going to go for the Homestuck approach.
I don't think so because that's handled by a separate thing in Australia. They have a separate team doing that.
Oh yeah, the Australian team. Forgive me for my limited knowledge on Homestuck. The only information I have is because of Mush randomly telling me about it.
Also, I have to say that they had a great name for them. The Australia division was a Spindleroo. Like
Spindleroo.
Definitely have to give credit there for creative names.
I mean,
Mr. Toby Fox.
That one I feel will be more air quote 1-to-1 translation because like that is a complete and very like successful web series, while Zoophobia is essentially like it ended indefinite hiatus like 6-7 years ago.
True.
We'll say like some, as far as artistry goes, some things their one idea is a certain character, one or the other, whereas others like some characters might be their favorite window dressing, but the idea, the core of what they were excited is a little different. So not read Zoophobia. Like, he wants to adapt it. I have to imagine that, Alistair was a negotiable factor there. That,
Alistair was originally a shape-shifting deer who would shape-shift into a normal-looking deer to get the other deer to trust him. And then, he would kill the deer and then go back into his humanoid form, and then would transform back into a deer. And he also had a seemingly this is either an old concept of Alistair, or this is his fucking brother, or a nice version of Alistair. No one really fucking knows. But there's this one character called Autumn that's literally just Alistair, but if he looked more like a deer, and if he looked less threatening, named Autumn. And still no one can tell whether he's either Alistair's brother, a nice version of Alistair, or something entirely different. But he looks like identical to the has-been version of Alistair, but looking more like a deer. So there's a lot of miscellaneous pieces of Alistair's character in Zoophobia.
But also, I will say we do already somewhat know what the direction is probably going to be like from the Zoophobia short that was released. So we can probably say the students cast are going to be a very, very big focus. They were before, but I feel it will be even more apparent. Like I said, I think will be primarily just the main human therapist, and then those cast. I'll be very much more focused on them, and also tweaking their story. It always seems to be tweaking and simplifying their stories from that short.
Yeah.
All right, but actually, let's go back to the episode we just saw. Speaking of shorts.
Yeah.
Which I feel that's a good summary of the short. Which is like I don't think it's bad, but it's just like I feel it's just like background details of a character. Like
Yeah, like I feel like the only two things that are like really of use here is Barbie as a girlfriend, which to be honest, kind of cool, good for her. But also the most important thing being at the beginning where she has messages with Fizzaroli, which proves that Fizz is basically the child of two divorced parents at this point. Because it seems like he's best friends with Blitz and he's best friends with Barbie, and both of them hate each other. So he's just the poor little guy in the middle, and I feel so sorry for him.
Barbie is so it's like that seems silly to say. It's like, oh my god, she's a twin. She's literally feminine. She's nearly female Blitz.
Yeah, exactly.
Functional one after all that.
And Fizz is still friends with both of them.
Well, I forgot that drama there. Fill me in. Like, why do Barbie and Blitz hate each other?
Because Blitz
Fire.
accidentally caused the death of their mom, and Blitz was the one who started it. So yeah,
He was the one who started the fire that killed their mom, and now Fizzaroli is still friends with both of them.
Yeah, and damaged, I guess, Fizzaroli, nearly killed Fizzaroli.
yeah.
I've heard people whenever people describe
Horrifically
Barbie,
mutated Fizz.
Mutilate that. There it is. There's the words.
and from what people have described as Barbie, part of the reason also might be that because she sees like a lot of herself in Blitz, so it's like there's extra hatred, basically self-hatred directed at Blitz. That's basically her hating herself. Because I think some people would describe it as basically Blitz if Blitz didn't have as much self-hate.
Yeah, pretty much, to be honest.
Confirmed that was the reason, because like Blitz and Barbie, they just, I mean, at least their dialogue in her only appearance so far was just very like characters that have already put each other through the ringer and have kicked their feelings down into a point where like they know that this is definitely raw and maybe one of them is more willing to come back than the other, but I don't know, it seemed like there was a lot of twisted stuff both ways, not at least that would have been my read on it, not just, hey, you did a bad thing, I hate you forever.
Yeah, I feel like it's a multitude of reasons that all just came together in the fire scene. It feels like they've both had like building up resentment against each other, and then that just kind of exploded with, death of their mother and the fact that I can put together a bit of a timeline here when it comes to like the Fizz thing in particular, because I do think it's pretty interesting. It feels like Fizz, because he hated Blitz for all those years, and you can see Fizz messaging Barbie. I think what happened was that after the fire, Fizz had become like very good friends with Barbie because both of them were bonding over hating Blitz. Eventually, they became close friends, and then Fizz didn't see her a while because she was in drug rehab. Then as soon as Barbie got out of drug rehab, she started talking to Fizz, like text messaging him again and like hanging out with Fizz again. And then, Fizz makes up with Blitz, and then Fizz is now trapped in the middle with two demons who hate each other, but he's still friends with
as you said, like the child of
divorce. Yeah, that's Fizz.
Are you sure? It's more like one hates the other, meanwhile the other one wants to get back with the other.
Yeah, exactly. One of them hates the other. One of them wants to get back with the other, but both of them aren't flirting with each other. And then Barbie is just and then poor fucking Fizz is just in the middle.
Also, if I remember correctly, Blitz was somewhat involved with her rehab, like at least trying to visit her, stuff like that, and like.
And failed.
Yeah, he failed.
He got kicked out.
But like, it seems like at least he was involved with the process. So I feel they were somewhat, and I would say definitely not close. That's very obvious. But like, in contact with each other still somewhat.
Yeah, I feel like what really happened was Barbie was constantly trying to push him away, and Blitz was constantly trying to find ways to keep in contact with Barbie by like, getting intel of like the exact place that she's getting rehab and trying to sneak in there and getting kicked out by the nurses every single time. Like it feels like he keeps trying to get back in contact with Barbie, and Barbie just legitimately wants nothing to do with him, and then Fizz is all right with associating with both of them.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so like Blitz is chasing Barbie. Barbie wants nothing to do with him, and then Fizz is in the middle, staying friends with both of them because he started bonding with Barbie after the fire incident. Because at the time they both hated Blitz, and they became good friends from there.
The thing is, though, to be blunt, I don't think they've fully decided about Barbie's backstory yet in terms of because like even before like even before like Viz was even before we had his episode where like we fully got him developed, we already very clearly knew the backstory and all that between him and Blitz. So both like the accent that happened and also like just the idea that like Ms. Lily was also like basically the prodigy child that like Blitz naturally felt jealous of. And so like we sort of understood their background going in, but like with the Barbie and Blitz, it's like very they hate each other. He wants basically he wants to connect with her, she hates him, she was in rehab, and that's the three facts we know.
Exactly. It feels like they tried to make it something with Barbie, but they don't have a lot of backstory for Barbie, so they don't really know what to do except for, oh, here's a girlfriend, and also she has contact with Fizz, and then they're just like, okay, well, what else do we do with her?
Right.
Which I feel like going back to like this episode as a whole, this is, I would say probably, even though it seems to be well written in terms of like a pacing and all that, it's probably one of the weakest shorts, and I feel it's because this short feels like it was part of an episode and it was just cut, like more than any other one. This was
absolutely. Like I 100% agree with you.
This feels like the opening, like pre-credit, like going in the credits, like scene of an episode.
What I was kind of thinking, like when I got to the end, when I realized that the end was the end of this, wait, what? And yeah, it feels like a very strong either prelude or first act of a short story.
Yeah.
And that's where, like, heck, just getting back to this one at all was like, oh yeah, we have to come back to this character at some point. They were setting things up, but like, I don't know.
No, it's actually a common complaint with Viv's writing, which is like, it's a very strange complaint, but it's like, particularly with Hell of a Boss, they talk about how a lot of the female characters just don't have very fleshed out writing. Like, they always try to find different ways to either ride them off or just throw something in last minute. The only real exception is Millie, and that was done.
Did you drop out or did I?
Okay, my thing crashed. Sorry. My thing crashed. Sorry. What I was saying was before my thing crashed was that it feels like the one exception to the rule is really Millie, but it feels like that was still rushed. Like it feels like they realized, oh fuck, we haven't done anything with Millie, and then just give her all this character development and backstory extremely last minute. So one thing that's been like a common complaint of the series from like a lot of people, not saying I agree with it, but just saying that like it is a common complaint that Viv doesn't really prioritize a lot of her female characters.
It has been, but like, well, as far as whether what the plan has been up to now, I mean, I would not be surprised if DC is totally right and there wasn't one until they started working on what would eventually become this episode. Like, I mean, here's an example. Like, the first time we saw Fizzarelli all the way back in episode 2, the robot version of him.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, RoboFizz.
Yeah, except they never say RoboFizz in that episode, and they talk to each other like Blitz is apparently, we're meant to believe now, talking to a robot that has no sentience of his own, as though it is a person that he knows, and as though it is fighting to the death. And in episode 8 or 5, whatever it was, were sent to accept. Oh yeah, somebody at the amusement park destroyed a robot version of me. Isn't that silly? Like, I think they got away with playing fast and loose there. But
Yeah.
this though, as far as like, okay, what the game plan is now, there is one. I'm like, this whole short is about how much it sucks right now to be her from a stability standpoint. She has been like maybe limping on one foot passably for now, and you know, she does have things worth fighting for, like namely someone who cares about her, loves her, and is into her. But yeah, recovering drug addict, shitty apartment, barely struggling through rent, and now also fired through her job, has to be the master of skeevy, short-changing deals just to get a sandwich for dinner. And it ends with like, okay, so we've locked that into place. Her life is bad and just took a hit into worse, where like the pressure is on for her to fix it. Are they setting her up to join IMP?
Honestly,
No,
it feels like that
no.
might
Like, I
not.
know you're about to tell me how much she and Blitz hate each other, but I mean, like, why else would you do you spend a whole short telling us all about how she is desperate for money and making ends meet enough to get some people off her back?
I mean, honestly, I can defend second here.
Really
Second here
available
with
options anymore, where she's blown 3 jobs somebody had to stick their neck out just for her to get. Like, what do you hope to accomplish by telling us all about how this character is desperate for not only money, but even a stable way to get it that would plausibly hire her after that? Like, what else would be the reason?
Honestly, I can back up second with this, with the one example of how they had multiple episodes of Blitz and Stolas hating each other, and then instantly they just have Stolas like sacrificing himself and then joining IMP. So it seems like they have a pattern of having characters who hate Blitz to join his company. Like, even with Millie, who originally hated him, Moxie originally hated him, Luna originally was kind of scared of him. They seem to have a pattern of getting characters with terrible lives who don't like him to join IMP. So, to be honest, with that alone, I can like fully defend second in saying that that is a very good possibility.
Let me offer an alternative theory. What happens if she joins the succubus that work next door, not realizing they work next door to him?
Oh no, yeah, she could start working for Verosica and then realize, oh fuck, I'm next door to Blitz.
If we want,
I can already imagine I can already imagine he'd be cursing up a storm, or just being like, no, be like 5 minutes of him being like, no.
yeah. Well, working
like, why are you working with the enemy? I didn't know you worked here, motherfucker.
Primary standpoint from which Blitz's relationships with these characters develop. It seems to be like a nice, easy, one big place to have all of them in, where they can have interactions with Blitz and work through their complicated feelings about him and all of the above. Like, yeah, I mean, Stolitz's case and all the characters who were like the feels are, yeah, not just complicated, but like, yeah, heated. That, I don't know, they seems to have a good Dow of what's the word I'm looking for? Yeah. I don't know. What's that term for like
Which term?
Yeah, not abhorrent, abhorrent, where like
Abhorrent
characters start contradicting the way they were acting earlier because of a motivating factor that swipes the note they thought they were on out from under them.
Yeah.
Kind of like a Brian De Palma movie where like Okay, now I've told you all about how Nicolas Cage is the scummiest crooked cop of all the scummy crooked cops, taking full advantage of what a dirty city he lives in because he likes how good he is at it. And guy of Mice and Men is the goodiest, good, honorable Marine guy. So I can now tell you a story about how being betrayed has made honorable Marine guy start trying to commit fraud and kill people to cover it up. And Nicolas Cage, upon finding out that his honorable friend, the Marine guy, is not, suddenly decides to be the hero just because he doesn't know what else to do.
Honestly, yeah.
I mean, there's such a thing as like characters starting to act adherent. It's the point that they be pointing out that they don't care about what they thought they cared about. But I don't know. The problem with speculating on stuff that is completely off screen, motivations and plans that are completely off screen. We're essentially playing in the same box of what is Viv's, I don't say this just what is her thought process right now.
Yeah, it seems like Viv's thought process words has gone from like one straight line to several diagonal ones, interchanging and also horizontal. Like I don't necessarily know where she's going with a lot of this. And it feels like a couple things, again, like the whole Millie thing, just seem to be sort of rushed and forced in, if you know what I mean.
Rushed, yes. Forced in, no. I feel like the
pregnancy felt kind of forced in. It seems like they were trying to find something to be a cliffhanger for her, but they didn't know what to do, so they just spinned a wheel.
Yeah, the sort of what's the word for when a story is different every episode or like every time out.
Episodic?
Thank you. Yeah, the episodic nature of especially the earlier episodes, and even some of the ones now, to the extent where we bounce around from characters to character to character. It wasn't the least natural thing that Millie would have her turn. I thought the one about how being the supportive one is like, even if you're good at it and you mean it, it's something that can be rough or something that people can take advantage of. I thought that was a good time out with the training wheels on, even if it made people defensive over their self-insert character that is Moxie for a lot of people. I don't
their self-insert character that is Moxie.
Ego run away with me sometimes. Like, okay, it definitely caused some hard feelings there, but I mean, it was a good time to take the bike out with the training wheels still on it, and then the one where her backstory with Blitz and how the reason that she puts up with him and even enjoys him is not because just that she's derpy supportive for giving Millie, but that they have a genuine friendship where they are good for each other and even like care about each other a lot on some level. But like that, I think was a genuine win for Millie. Now the pregnancy thing, I straight up forgot it was in the series now, so I have no idea what to think about that.
Yeah, exactly. That's why it feels shoehorned in, because nobody can remember it happened. It doesn't really affect the plot much. Most people have already forgotten about it, and it feels like just a random cliffhanger that they just threw there because they had no clue what to do with Millie.
Well, I mean, we'll see if it's that they had no clue what to do with Millie. The thing about like plot threads that people want to have feelings over, but there aren't any feelings to have because nothing has happened yet. We haven't come to the part where we see what they were going to use it for, or there has even actually been any opening to use it for anything. Like I've seen people be silenced very quickly when they thought they were going to have all kinds of ammo, and I've seen people like, oh shoot, order a double round of ammo. This is even worse than I thought it was going to be. So I mean, I don't know. I've learned not to count my chickens before they've hatched one way or the other.
Yeah, same here.
Like
for me right now, I just feel like even if these shorts are basically trying to add a bit of addendums for certain characters, just so we could get a feel for them and whatnot, it's like the first special was already felt really good because it was stuff that we really wanted to see in the main show, but we never really got moments to actually see it in the show. And then everything else just felt like a lot of background stuff. And now we see a bit more for like Fizz's interaction with the rest of Blitz's family here. And
Which feels like one of the only like fully important things in the short.
yeah, because honestly, like unless Barbie somehow becomes an important character in season 4, yeah, I'm not seeing any more reasons to dig into her unless we get to like a Blitz's popularity arc as like the man who survived like the trial actually gets like over his head, because we already see a hint about his ego being a problem in Big Boss.
Yeah, absolutely. And it feels like it's definitely going to get heightened now that he's known as the one who survived the trial of Satan and got saved by the prince, you know?
See, I don't want to just hand wave that as like, well, technically a possibility, because like, I mean, you compare it to the other shorts so far, even the slightest and most inconsequential, like we were able to tell what the points were, to have a stupid punchline, to penguins yell slurs, Blitz was the chupa kadupra and ran into the dorks again, just to like deepen and reaffirm that rivalry. Just like every single one of them, this, like, it was thoughtful, it was high on characterization, it had a lot to say about where this character's arc might be going, all for no readily available purpose whatsoever. This is the absolute first one where you're left asking, what was the point of that? And
exactly, like 100%.
And I mean, it almost like, and the fact that not only that, but you're left on a note where it feels like feels very, very deliberately like it's telling you, okay, yeah, now there has to and is going to be one. So I mean, like, what are we supposed to think if not that purpose is going to make itself known in the main show? That this is going to become more important later.
Yeah, because if it doesn't become more important later, then this was a little bit useless.
A waste of the time. Like honestly, like I'm just waiting for like the moment we get a full-on Fizz short all to himself.
Yeah, it feels like this is kind of building up to it, considering that they mentioned Fizz. So I really hope that they do a Fizzarolli one next.
Yeah, because like we already had him take over 2 episodes of the main show. So it's more than enough that we get a short about him by himself now.
Yeah, exactly. He was already in Barbie's, so he should get his own.
Yeah, and
besides, a lot of people say that Fizz literally saved season 2.
I mean, like he was the midpoint of the season that really shifted up like motivations and changed the tempo.
Yeah, exactly. A lot of people thank some of the best episodes of season 2 to Fizzarolli, so he definitely deserves to get some more time in the spotlight after he did all that fucking promo work.
I mean, quite honestly, a lot of Blitz's relationships, like Blitz hits a lot of the beats of a tragic character, just all these relationships that he's ruined and how he's his own worst enemy. And I mean, I don't know, if this were a Robert De Niro movie or something like that, this would all be like building up to this spectacular downfall of a character. But I mean, you know, it seems like because we're in, you know, millennial post-Avatar, like, all right, cartoons about emotional needs and health and like overcoming trauma and whatnot. It seems like the reason, at least with the track record so far, the reason we keep focusing on all of these broken relationships and all of these broken characters is for the hopeful pro health type of thing about like how in a bumpy and sometimes more steps back forward sort of way they slowly heal. Like heck, the Blitz and Stolitz arc, at least where we left it so far, has just about circled back around to hey, yeah, Blitz learned a lot of like really healthy, insightful life lessons and is growing as a person to the point that he has fixed his relationship. Like, is his sister next? This, yeah, story about growth and change and how he becomes a like genuinely healthy dumbass.
Yeah.
No, I mean, maybe I'm looking too far into the future, but I mean, it seems like if I was going off of the beats we hit so far, that yeah, this is like kind of the epic Blitz gradually like overcoming his trauma and piecing his health together, broken relationship at a time.
Feels like Barbie is definitely next on that list, considering he just fucking knocked out Fizz and Stolas.
Shit. Well, that's the easy answer because we just finished watching a story about her. But I mean, wow.
I mean, Veroska is also on the table.
Yeah,
No, Veroska's probably going to be the one that stays, Burn. Like, she can move
Yeah,
on.
to be honest,
I mean,
yeah.
well, like they did. I don't know. They could. She's in a point where they have her on the table if they really want to do something to her, with her rather, but it's in no way required. Like they had a conversation. They, established that okay, she hates Blitz, but like she, maybe doesn't need to see him burn, like to resolve this whatsoever. That even though she does hold a hate Blitz party every year, that like it's become more of a her way of healing, as it were, as less than healthy as it is, that like actually running into Blitz himself, the things that she has to say to him are more about like getting over trauma is kind of a sucky, slow process, not like, oh, I'm so glad you're here so I can really stick it to you now.
Mm-hmm.
Honestly, yeah. It feels like a lot of Blitz's arc is really just giving us a very broken, traumatized character and attempting to like heal him over time. The only decision I genuinely don't really agree with, though, is you know what I'm gonna say about this fucking bird.
Yeah, the direction of Stolas. I get it. I agree with you about this.
Thank you. I do not like this bird.
Can I just simply say one thing? At the very least, with like Hell of a Boss, I like its main character way more than I do Charlie.
Honestly, yeah, I hate Charlie more.
Yeah,
I feel like Charlie has taken the dive of whatchamacallit, of oh hey, she like, I don't know. The thing about media these days is like it's become so much more reactive, so much more like we need an opinion right now. Like Charlie, I don't know, it seems like she just hit the equivalent of like being humiliated at school and losing her popularity. Like, oh Charlie, you had a sucky episode. Now you suck. Like all our worst takes on you are totally true. Like, and I don't know.
Charlie just kind of drives me crazy because it feels like she just makes like I get a flawed character, but at the same time, she's literally the princess of hell. Do something.
No. Listen. It's not even that. It just feels like the narrative does not feel like it's addressing the fact that she's handling the whole thing like with like distant gloves, basically, in which she doesn't even connect with like her citizens basically at all. Like it just feels like it's just trying to show that she's doing something good, but it doesn't feel like she's doing it earnestly like that. It just feels like she's doing it just because she wants to do something that her father tried to do, but then succeeded, and it's
Yeah.
only a pet project like that. Like it's just inauthentic, and that's
Yeah, it really does feel inauthentic.
like that's really the
like to me, it's like you're saying, like, hey, the part of this narrative that I'm wondering about is off screen. Like, yeah, the Has-Been Hotel itself, there's allusions to healing and that they are doing something like rounding out to a loosely implied we don't entirely know what we're doing, but it's something, and it's making some characters better-ish, but like the Gator's breakdown of well, but wait, I care about what exactly those processes were and how thought out they were and how well they match real therapy or not, and you are not doing that. And I mean, the illiteracy is not that like this has things to say about Charlie, how much or little she cares about. It's because Viv doesn't want to put her mental energy into what kind of level of therapy we're on right now, like mapping out Charlie's thought processes. I mean, they're clearly quietly doing that, which
it just feels like, you have a flawed character like someone like Husk who has done morally questionable things in the past, but still remains to be a likable character. But then you have a character like Charlie who has also done morally questionable things, but does them in such a way that it becomes unbearable to sit through.
Like a more police
episode again where like Charlie acts, where they take Charlie's character to like annoying and even not obviously seen extremes, and it is Viv's worst writing moment. But I think I disagree with what seems to be the popular take, that it's because Charlie has bottomed out as a character, and rather because they tried to use Charlie's character to push the plot along, and they thought they'd written themselves a way out. I think they did the equivalent of thinking that lampshading your lazy writing, like, oh, hey, wouldn't it be silly if something was written into, if something happened right here that just so happened to solve all the problems? Wink, and then that happened because you're big wink, not writing anymore. Like, that to me is how I see Charlie's moment, where she strong arms Angel into trying for redemption and whatnot. Like, hey, lots of Danny do bad gags here. Hey, lots of Charlie responding poorly to pressure here. I mean, you can't take that seriously, right? It's really, really silly, and like, see, finally missed your comedy. It's really, really obnoxious, is what it is. But like, almost reluctant to say it's even at the expense of Charlie, because she's not really used as a character in the whole Angel must try for redemption right this second thing. She's used as a gag. She's used as a plot device. It doesn't match the way she acts before. It doesn't match the way she acts after. It doesn't match what the characters say she did wrong, or like what she learns when she does. Like, because I had to pick 4 years.
It just feels kind of like, using a character as a plot device just feels like, reducing the character to nothing but a plot device over and over again, instead of actually fleshing her out and giving one of her only things of like emotional depth being a constant cliffhanger with Lilith. Like, I'm not even saying that I fully hate Charlie as a character. I just feel like she's heavily underdeveloped and needs some more, and needs to be used as, well, more like a character and less like just a random plot device to move things forward.
I feel like we ran away with a lot of things at once there, like being used as a plot device to whether she has any development, et cetera, and I mean, like,
she feels like either an annoying character or a bland character at most times, and there's times that she is very well written, but there's just so many times that she's either used as a plot device or is just really badly written, that I feel like season 3 just really needs to up its game when it comes to how they portray Charlie.
So, well, I mean, certainly past what they did in the episode there, but I don't know. Again, I think we're like disappearing a bit into, like I said, the popularity contest. The hey, Charlie, you bombed now, therefore all our assumptions about you were right. Like,
I feel like they can fix it. Like, I feel like they can fix it.
It's like a
fully flawed character. There's
reality.
just things they have to do.
I don't think that, Charlie being used in this hammy, silly, does not make any sense way. It's like it's tough to explain, but yeah, I mean,
I feel like there's a way to fix it. It just feels like they haven't done it well.
each as what it is. I think it seems to me like pretty clear that the face plant there was not Viv trying to say anything about Charlie or even like weave something into her character. It was trying to get away with it was trying to lean on a Looney Tunes bit of comedy to make a plot device to make a plot point pass. Like it was
second, I just realized something and now I'm kind of pissed.
Yeah.
The thing I wanted Charlie to be is literally just Cameron. From Zootopia. God
wait, that's actually hilarious.
God damn it. She knows
and now we're swerving back to Zootopia. Woo!
Oh my God. Oh my God. This is what not to do. And here's the thing. The moment that she does Zootopia and she actually shows how she does actual therapist is going to be the moment that everyone's going to look at Has-Been Hotel and just going to be like, Charlie's just a joke of a character.
Yeah,
they've been playing that stuff along.
It always goes back to Zoophobia.
I'm sorry. I'm just not gonna accept this. Like, I do not care about you, Charlie. I do not care about you, Vaggie. I do not care about you, Alistair. Angel, you actually have a decent arc with like you going back with the V's.
Yeah.
Like Husk, you're great. You just need actual more development.
Development for Husker. Give my goat some character.
Mixie, just keep on being you. Box, you were amazing last season. Just keep it up being a background character for season 3.
Box,
be your worst villain. Be the worst, please. We need actual good, hearty evil here. Not just
Valentino is perfect for being the worst. Everybody already hates him. I already hate him. Just put it up a notch.
Yeah, put it up a notch just so that we can actually have like a vile, despicable villain that we can't bear to look at.
Yeah.
Just so that like people can just be like, yeah, I do not like watching the show, and it's not because of the writing quality. It's because I don't like Valentino. Things get serious. You know,
honestly, I feel like a good example, like a non-redeemable villain, is like Eggman from a very particular Sonic the Hedgehog series, where he's fighting the Freedom Fighters, and he like forcefully roboticizes and tortures animals, and is extremely cruel, gruesome, and horrible in every way whatsoever. We need an extremely unredeemable villain like Eggman from the old Sonic cartoons.
But yeah, that's just all the plot points. I really have to lay it out there thick, because it's like, yeah, as someone who's been a fan of Busy Pop for like a long time and even got commission of like my old Gator OC from her back before she had to can Zootopia. It's just like,
wait, you got a commission from Viv?
Yeah, like Jack Olivier, my Gator OC. Yeah.
Wait, that's actually so cool. Sick.
It's not even like colored in. It's just mainly like a style piece. But yeah.
Still really cool though. That's nice.
Yeah. Yeah, but like moving away from that, it's like I really do respect her creativity and whatnot. And it's like she's a big inspiration for a bunch of people, even in the Brony community back in the day, in which they were doing artwork similar to her. It's like,
oh yeah, sure, I remember that.
I just don't want like the negative publicity of like her writing to like be like her downfall, because she can do good writing. I saw how she did for like the Jack chapter for like Zoophobia. She can do good work.
Wait, are you getting self-conscious about everybody who is like in Bibsy Pop version of Trekkies who is in full "this is mine and I say what's wrong with it" mode? That like where everybody has a big damning critique of what's wrong with this stuff, and none of it becomes the big damning critique because none of it is actually authentic. None of it resonates beyond, yeah, I want the last word on what's wrong with Viv's stuff too. Because I mean, like, Viv's stuff from the media literate critic, did I say that right? Yeah, media literate critics who have a wide base of comparison with what they've seen on whether this is, yeah, these are good shows, bad shows. Her stuff is really acclaimed. Like, internet criticisms are, well, I mean, let's face it, most internet criticisms are fail. You have to step back a few years to realize it, but like these are, yeah, basically all whiffing. Like, and to the point where it doesn't even seem like the important part is meaningfully connected so much as to say that, oh yeah, we agree that like Viv needs to be more like us. Because I mean, that's what this is about. Obviously, this makes a little more sense now, but yeah, like I can't emphasize this enough. Like the Twitter trends, the if Vivsy Pop wrote in Viv's 2 critique is incredibly basic bitch and does not deserve definitive respect.
All right.
I'm just moral support here, guys. I just support everyone. I don't know what to add to any.
With that said, I think we need to offer closing thoughts in this short.
I'm the moral support fella. I do moral support things. This is my profession. Totally.
All right. So, any closing thoughts on this episode before we head off?
The only thing is like it's a hell of a short, but also, yeah, man, but also, wow, it's Barbie is basically female Blitz. There it is. She's just as much a fuck up as Blitz is too, only in a feminine form and in a different, only in a feminine form. She's just as bad as Blitz.
Sure.
She's Blitz just in a feminine body, doing the same stuff he is.
And also a lesbian version of Stolas.
You know what? Yeah, but difference is Blitz is, I don't want to say he's on a redemption arc, but he's showing signs of being a little bit more self-aware, of being a little bit more.
He's definitely on a redemption arc.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry, say that again.
I say, he's definitely on a redemption arc.
Right, he's showing signs of it so far. That this is actually, I think this is my first time seeing Barbie, so I can't tell. So I can't really tell. With
wait, the first time you saw Barbie?
I guess I forgot about Barbie for a while.
She was in the least liked episode of the series.
I forgot. I guess I forgot. I forgot about it.
Widely regarded as the worst episode of the entire series, and people wanted to murder Moxie on set.
We're like, Moxie is like, they just, oh my gosh, we're like, Moxie is just dumb in that episode.
He gets carried away with his prima donna side.
That's the one where everybody wants to kill Moxie.
Okay.
I mean, we can talk about
I blocked it out of my head. That's why I blocked it out of my head. That's why
you blocked it out of your mind because it is truly horrific.
It's like a reintroduction. This was a reintroduction to Barbie in a sense. So but like it's pretty much for me. It's a reintroduction to Barbie, and honestly, yeah, it is what it is. A hell of a short and reintroduction to Barbie.
Yeah.
Well, the problem with me considering Barbie's first appearance on the worst episode is, first of all, that Cherubs exists.
I'm sorry. I like
fuckers.
I like the Cherubs. I'm sorry, but we can't say the Cherubs episode is worse than literally the camp episode. I'm sorry. No.
I mean, that one's a bit more preference based, but the Cherubs was like the most basic of, hey, edgy jokes you've heard before about things you've heard them directed at. We're a mean-spirited show. We're not just feel good or heartfelt stuff at the end. Really? But that one is a bit more preference based, and I think I've second opinioned a little harder than usual already, so I should probably spare everybody a little bit of that. I
get about generic appeal that the Cherubs episode is, and that's why you don't like it so much. It's like, yeah, this is just bland. This is just basic, but it's like, for me, it's like, at least it was entertaining for me in comparison to.
Yeah.
I don't know. It felt like the worst combination to me of just like mean and not that funny. Like, I don't know. Like, I feel like I don't want to see you like taking shots at stuff or like. And see, I have to put myself back in the headspace of like what it even was. Like, yeah. Okay. I mean, there was. What do I remember? Santa Claus, opera. What else are they fighting over there?
I actually don't know.
Oh yeah, kids are stupid and gross. Like, I don't know. I feel like I don't want you to tell me how, things I thought were fine are stupid if you don't have anything to say that I haven't heard before. Like, I don't know. Like, if you're going to be mean and it's not so much like at immediately deserving things. It's just old mean. Like, I feel like you at least got to be funny. You at least got to show me a reason that this is worth my time. And the millionth Santa Claus is grown man plus kids on Latin joke is not that. But I don't know. Put that aside. That one, really, we can fight about Cherubs some other time. I'm sure we'll find the opportunity. And their return appearances were certainly all right. That said, I do agree that this was a nice way to be reintroduced to Barbie if they have a plan to pay her off now for us. And I mean, now it's my turn to be a Viv critic. After Gravity, I have not ruled out that she's going to let us down. I feel like you can't.
Yeah. Gravity is a pretty good example.
Series paid off by nothing, and so far as we know, not necessarily going to be paid off. It seems like everybody is holding their breath on that one, so we'll see. But okay, as a promise of things to come, as a first act with no second and third one attached yet, it was a pretty darn good first act.
Yeah, true.
Very promising.
Yeah.
Also, if I'm going to second opinion more about things, it's going to be about Charlie. Don't kid yourself. All the emotional stakes that you've been invested in hug on her because she did her flippin' job. To be an out-of-her-depth Disney princess who fights like heck for this shit anyway because it's right.
True.
Yeah.
All right. I guess with that said, I'll see y'all next time for a continuation of our journey down
Amazing Digital Circus.
Yay!